So this is really, we're coming up to the point where the training levels, or the training wheels start getting taken off. Also, slowly coming up to the start of my favorite / worst arc in the game. Hope y'all are ready for Lovetown.
Interesting. God.
Yeah.
But essentially no risk to checking things out.
Yeah. Oh, Molar office. These guys are fun.
그런 게 왔었나?
I'd also point out it's not that those two with Olga are small. She's actually meant to be like 6'4".
Nice.
And I think she's also British.
She is about to vom.
Yep.
가게 하나 전세 내고 진탕 마셨다고 하더라.
This is also technically the start of the Lovetown arc.
Interesting.
야, 레인. 아직 술 덜 깨서 머리 올리니까 설교할 거면 1시간 뒤에나 해.
게다가 뭐예요? 이 영수증 내역은. 사무소 돈으로 결제까지 하셨네.
She threw a party and rendered their office bankrupt.
Nice.
Yeah, the warp trains are basically the main way people get around town. They go from point A to point B in 10 seconds. So think the Japanese subway on speed.
곧 우리 차례네.
That's like any distance, it's 10 seconds.
Yep, one side. Basically, imagine going from New York to California in 10 seconds.
그나저나 이번 의뢰는 의외네요.
Or Amsterdam to Liverpool, or, you know, any distance, as long as there's another warp train platform there, they can go.
That's much more convenient than most of what the other corporations seem to be getting up to.
Oh yeah. W Corp basically cornered the market in terms of public transport.
Yep.
If there's, you'll see people talk about driving places every so often, but it's kind of assumed that everyone takes warp trains everywhere.
It is a little hard to compete with teleportation.
Basically.
또 저러시네.
Olga likes talking about herself. Oh, Mio is another name that came up quite a few times in the previous game. I mentioned the rabbit teams from our corporation. She's the head of one of them.
Oh, nice.
So Olga is in with some very important people.
그래서 그렇게 당당했던 거네요.
기분 좋아서 사무소 카드도 써가며 확실히 접대했지.
묘라는 친구분은
So she expects to get away with a lot of bullshit.
Oh yeah.
성격이 지랄 맞아서 그렇지 속은 괜찮은 친구야.
Yeah, the implication is that Olga's kind of a bit of a hard partier, but she, you know, can actually back it up.
She appears to have the least gigantic weapon of anyone here.
If I remember correctly, she's also using a chainsword.
I mean, this guy certainly is, and it looks like she's got a chainsword as well, so
Yeah.
I guess that's their thing.
당신도 참 걱정 많아. 얼마나 많은 사람들이 워프를 타고 있는데.
초창기에는 여러 사고가 났다고 들어서.
걱정되면
And now Tommy and Mary are here as well.
눈 꼭 감고만 있어.
그냥
Tommy and Mary are sickeningly sweet to each other.
나 열차 안에서 더해도 알아서 처리해라 레인.
So sickening. I was about to puke.
Yep.
누님, 제발 좀.
승객 여러분, 모두 안전벨트를 착용해 주시기 바랍니다.
That's Mary over on the right there.
매번 탈 때마다 드는 생각인데 이 안전벨트 애초에
I
의미가
guess
있다는
Tommy got
거야?
cropped.
Yeah.
형식상이겠죠.
Tommy is no longer part of this equation.
Yep.
10분 뒤 워프 시작합니다.
But it is kind of weird that they've got seat belts when they're really not moving.
혹시 모르잖아.
출발하고 10초만 있으면 바로 딱 도착이라니까. 그래도 귀여우니까 봐줄게.
저 지랄하는 녀석들이 왜 우리 바로 앞좌석이지?
Olga speaks for us all.
들리겠어요.
Yep.
워프 중에는 절대 열차 문을 열지 마시기 바랍니다.
눈 좀 붙일 테니까
Team Swan and
도착할게요.
Mercy at the end of the Warriors.
Except no one gets pushed in front of a train.
10분도 안 걸릴 텐데요.
We don't know that yet. I assume it's impossible to throw someone in front of a warp train, but
몰라.
We'll find
Someone
out.
got thrown in front of a warp train, they'd probably find their atoms
눈이-
scattered across the universe.
Yeah.
떠보세요.
아, 이번에는 또 뭔데?
뭔가 잘못된 것 같아요. 출발한 지 1시간이 넘었는데 도착하지 않고 있어요.
어떻게 된 거야, 메어리? 워프 시작하면 10초 만에 도착한다며.
그러게. 원래는 10초 만에 딱 도착하는데.
stuck in a warp gate.
뭐야? 우리 똥 밟은 거야?
Yeah, they wind up in a warp zone.
최근 10년간 무사고였는데 말이죠.
이대로 공간에 갇히게 될 수도 있겠는데요.
Rain and Mika like to trust what corporations say.
여차하면
They are dumb.
힘으로 뚫고 나갈 거야.
정신 나간 소리예요. 워프 중 문을 열면 밖으로 빨려 나간다고 경고문에 써 있잖아요.
정신이 나갈 것 같아.
This has become like a Fallout Vault test.
Olga is done with this shit.
Who will be obedient the longest? Certainly not
안전벨트도
Olga.
풀리지 않아.
토미, 곧 해결될 거야. 미안해. 내가 괜히 워프를 타자고 해서. 이 열차 상태를 봐서는 아직 가동 중인 것 같은데.
야, 너네 연장 꺼내. 이 엿 같은 안전벨트 잘라낼 거야. 아, 미치겠네.
She's been free for 14 hours. What has she been doing?
아무 조치도 없는 거야?
열차 분위기가
Not so much as an
심상치 않아요.
announcement over the
다들
tannoy
감정적이고.
as to what the hell's going on.
웃긴 건 31시간이나 지났는데 전혀 목이 마르거나 배도 고프지 않다는 거야.
Hey, you'd think they wouldn't have like food services or even bathrooms on a train that's supposed to only run for 10 seconds at a time.
Yeah,
정말 꼼짝없이
what's the
감추는
point in having a buffet car if they're just
그냥
literally going to be
기다릴
on and off in 30 seconds or less?
다른 사람들도 좀
Surviving in those
맛이 가고 있는
conditions
것
for even
같은데요.
31 hours is virtually impossible.
Yep.
야, 우리 도박 한번 해보자.
They would need to dedicate one of the train cars
운동 없이
simply
무슨
for
소리예요?
pooping, and that would be filled pretty
Yep.
quickly.
이거 써보자는 말이야.
초대장이네요.
묘한테서 받은 물건이야. 지금 쓰게 될 줄은 몰랐지.
And that's certainly one way to get yourself out of a
여기
situation.
팬이요.
True.
저도 어떻게든 이곳에서 벗어나고 싶거든요.
워프 고장이라니.
Well, now Harry and Tommy are going to be jealous.
입장에서는 꽤나 곤란해지겠네.
They're just like, smell you guys later.
Yep, as they die in warp.
맞아. W사의 특이점으로 만들어진 워프 열차는 아무리 멀리 있는 정거장이라도 10초 만에 도착하거든. 그런데 30초도 아니고 30시간이나 넘게 연장되는 건 치명적이지.
특이점도 고장 날 수 있는 거겠지.
역시 완벽한 기술은 없다는 건가?
그나저나 설마 했던 녀석.
Yeah, that's
곧
that's something you
만나게
don't want to be
될지도
saying in front of an AI.
저 사무소에 아는 녀석이라도 있어?
모르지. 아니,
그럼 토끼팀 대장이라는 묘?
맞아.
알사의 대장 중 하나와 인맥이 다 있었다니. 올가란 녀석도 그렇지만 너도 수완이 대단했구만.
다시 만나게 되면 서로 좋은 꼴은 못 볼 것 같지만 말이야.
Now, Rabbit Corps were a group of mercenaries you could
뭐야,
hire in the previous
사이가
game.
좋은 게 아니었어?
When abnormalities escaped,
그럴 것 같긴
you could use them to suppress them
Hmm.
with high-power machine guns.
나하고
And that's basically what our teams get up to.
Pretty much.
We got a lot in common.
혹시나 했어. 알사 녀석들은 해결사와 본질적으로 달라. 하는 일은 해결사와 비슷해 보여도 일의 처리 규모와 마음가짐이 확연히 다르지.
날개 중 하나면 그 정도는 되어줘야겠지.
여유만만이시네.
Wings now, in addition to rabbits.
Yeah, the wings of the world are basically the
망할 W사 특이점보다
I always get them confused. I think it's another term for the corporations. The city, the parts of the city around each corporation is known as the nest. So there's like a nest for R Corp, W Corp, previously one for L Corp before it got turned into a smoldering crater. And they're considered to be the safest places in the city. I believe the wings of the world is another term for the various corporations that run the place.
내 상황 판단 능력 덕분에
So it's one of those things I always get mixed up because it's never really elaborated on too much.
환영합니다, 손님.
How dare you lose track of any of the terminology in this game?
I know, I am a terrible lore master.
죄송합니다. 저희가 지금 경황이 없어서요. 그리고 이분 술도 좀 드셨고.
Although in fairness, this has been like 4 streams and that's the first time I've come out with anything that I'm like, I'm not too sure.
Pretty much, yeah.
제 상황이 어떻게 돌아가고 있던 건지 알아?
당신들이 도서관에 초대된 손님이란 것밖에는 모르겠네요.
묘한테서 전해 들은 것보단 성격이 싹싹한데?
혹시 아는 사람이에요?
In fairness, Angela and Mio did not get along well in the previous
엘사와
game.
도서관의 관계를 좀 파악해보려는 일이었고.
So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that anything Mio said about Angela may have been slightly biased.
No one gets along with Angela for long. If they survive this encounter,
like
they probably
Angela?
won't have a high opinion of her either.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you like Angela? Clearly you haven't met her.
까놓고 좀 물어보자. 도서관과 엘사가 무슨 관계인지 알지? 묘가 그러는데 네가 도서관에 있다는 것은 무조건 엘사와 관련이 있을 수밖에 없다더라고.
책으로 확인해 보시는 것이 확실하겠죠?
Library does start with L. Therefore.
Mm-hmm.
죄송합니다. 입장하도록 할게요.
당신의 책을 찾으실 수 있게.
We'll be leaving. No, you won't.
I was just stepping out. I mean, Lulu was able to leave. She came right back.
Thing is, yeah, well, that's the thing that you've probably picked up on. The library only lets people go if there's something in it for the library.
Not stagger.
Yeah, this isn't the first
You stagger.
proper hard fight, but these guys definitely give you a good challenge.
Yep. I think I'm wearing Olga's clothes.
Yeah, you've got Olga's outfit on Roland at least.
That makes sense. That explains why I have 2 attacks.
Yep.
Roland should probably get scarred up. Because he's in for a potential world of hurt here. I cannot save him from this 5 attack.
Yeah, no one that can really redirect it, unfortunately.
Nope. Did not get lucky. So they're gonna throw, okay, relatively weak attack at him. At least. Should be survivable.
We've still got half his health by the looks of things.
Yeah. The majority. Slight majority. How much longer? He also has to stick through his head. I don't know why that's a dress-up option, but as soon as I saw it, I had to use it.
I don't know, some of the dress-up options you get are insane. Like, any character that wears a mask or a helmet, you can put on them. But then you also get, like, people with, like, flames coming out the back of their head. And that's before you get into the fan-made ones. Some of them are too overly designed and elaborate to the point where they would fit in with the cutscene art, but not with this art, you know?
Yeah, I remember now seeing those in the mods list. Didn't grab it, but...
There was... the only other ones that I got were just some of the hairstyle ones that you can get. There's quite a lot of additional hairstyles you can get, but they're always fun.
Yeah. Apparently a lot of people liked cosmetic options that were in Lobotomy Corp,
Yes.
so they ported them over to this game.
Yeah. There's a few packs that you can get which have, like, you can have all the Sephiroth customizations available. Because otherwise, you can get your characters, your assistant librarians looking kind of similar, but like you can't have Malka's headband on any other characters but her. Which was something that annoyed people to an unreasonable degree.
Also, it's a good thing Roland is ridiculously powerful.
Yep.
I was getting close to losing that to the dregs.
Yeah, that was down to the wire.
Yeah.
I believe I know exactly what one this is. If you just start up that one, and I'll tell you if it is exactly the one that I'm thinking of, because if so...
Let's see what they got for us. Oh, Tommy's back.
Okay, yep, this is the one.
Should we watch this?
Welcome to Love Town.
Oh, beautiful.
지금 여기가 어디야?
I mean, that's called Love Town. Clearly, it could only be as harmful as a rabbit squad.
This one is also where we will fight our first proper boss of the game. You will want to wait until you've done all the others before you tackle this one, because it is a huge step up in difficulty.
미안해.
Okay.
나도 잘 모르겠어. 얼마나 지난지 모르겠어.
So this is the aforementioned Mary and Tommy, stuck on the train for many days. How are they 10 days in? Like, did they board the train? Did another train disappear in the warp?
Hard to tell.
10일이요?
Interesting.
But something has gone desperately wrong with this warp train.
정신이 좀 드세요?
Say so's here at a very unfortunate time because we were just wrapping up the stream. And it's also an incredibly disturbing cutscene that we're apparently watching.
워프 열차는
Yep, this entire section is just cheerfully making jokes about body horror and all kinds of abominations, and this managed to creep me out.
저도 잘 모르겠네요, 토미 씨.
I mean, we were just talking about nuclear apocalypse, and then you were worried when this showed up.
Yeah.
당신 이름은 옆에 계신 연인분께
Just the second Mary and Tommy show up, I'm like, oh shit, here we go.
저는 간호사를
Anything but that.
엘레나라고
Bring back the
합니다.
nuclear apocalypse.
여기는 우리 병원의 의사 선생님이신 재헌님.
처음 인사드립니다.
자기가 기절한 사이 이분이 간호해 주셨어. 이런 상황은 저도 처음이에요. 워프 열차는 숱하게 이용했거든요. 늘 10초만 눈 감으면 쾌적하게 도착했는데 말이죠. 선생님도 이런 사고에 대해서 아시는 바 있나요?
나도 전혀. 이런 결함은 W사 입장에서도 치명적일 텐데 어떤 조치도 없는 것이 이상한걸?
W사 걱정이나 할 때예요. 여기 갇혀서 굶어 죽게 생겼잖아요.
Dude, you were asleep for 3 days and you're not thirsty.
Yeah, if you haven't starved yet, you aren't going to.
3일간 잠드셨던 토미 씨, 지금 갈증을 느끼시나요? 기절해 있는 동안 그 어떤 수분 섭취도 없었는데요.
목이 마르지 않네요.
이곳에서는 그 누구도 굶주림이나 갈증을 느끼지 않고 있어요. 정확히는 생명 유지와 관련한 생리 현상에는 그 어떤 문제가 없는 상태예요.
그런 게 어떻게 가능하죠?
Put it in simpler
대체
terms.
무슨 일이 벌어지고 있는 건데요?
거기까진 모르겠네요. 잠시 기다려보죠.
Time appears to be frozen, except not. There's just like an ever-present now.
시간인가요?
토미, 힘들면 다시 눈 좀 붙여도 돼. 내가 여기 옆에 항상 있을 테니까.
나도 그래, 메어리. 꼭 옆에 있을게.
Now, why would they still feel tired? Because that's a biological function.
Yeah.
토미,
5 more days?
메어리, 무슨
They're all the more
일이야?
upset, apparently.
왜 이렇게 시끄러워?
It was 30 days before Olga teleported out.
토미,
Yeah.
눈 좀 떠봐. 큰일 났어.
So, I guess she's still on the train somewhere?
No. She is Olga and her two friends are gone.
Okay. So, basically the timeline doesn't make sense and isn't going to because we're in a time warp.
Yeah.
대체
Some sort of weird,
일인데?
timey-wimey shit is going on.
Yep. We had to go and meet a Dalek. Big
옆칸에서
mistake.
소동이 벌어진 것 같습니다.
뭐 지금 뭐 하는 거야? 저 사람?
잘 봐. 잘 보라고.
Oh no, passenger one.
이런
What have you
폐쇄된
done?
공간에서 2주 넘게 있으면 이런 일이 일어나는 법이지.
저 사람 지금 자기 목을 그은 거예요?
Never heard slice off their throat before.
Yeah, I just kind of assumed that he just cut into it so deeply.
선생님,
Yeah.
에일린이 그냥 보낸 게 아니었군.
Yep.
이것 봐.
Yeah, it sounds like he actually took a chunk out of his throat.
바로 죽지도 못하고 있잖아.
Seemed like a very bad plan. It didn't kill him. At least there's that.
Yeah, but now he's still alive and he's missing his throat.
Yeah. He probably should have gone with like a finger first. I mean, didn't he learn anything from Resident Evil 7?
아,
Clearly no
토미
one
씨,
did.
일어나셨군요.
평생 기절할 시간을 이번에 다 쓰는 것
The guy who cut off his throat has just been probably gargling for the last day.
메어리 씨는 정신적 충격이 크셨나 봐요.
Oh no, you're gonna find out what happens to him.
Fair enough.
그러게요. 아직도 자고 있네요. 저기 그 사람은 어떻게 되었어요?
전에 목을 그은 사람은 다른 열차 칸으로 격리했습니다.
300명이나 탄 열차
네,
안에서
send him away.
그런 짓을 한 사람이 한둘은 아니겠지.
격리라면 죽은 게 아닌가요? 그렇게나 피를 쏟으면 죽었을 텐데 시체에게 격리라는 건 이상하잖아요.
Someone needs to tell Tommy about
놀랍게도
dysentery.
그래요. 동맥이 절단되었는데도 살아있어요. 터져나오는 피가 바닥에 흩뿌려졌는데 그 피와 살점이 몸에서 분리가 되지 않았어요. 피 한 방울 정도는 바닥에 튀거나 스며들 법한데
Ah, it's the
그
thing blood.
사람과 한 몸인 것처럼
Yep.
달라붙어 있었어요.
You are not the first person to think about that.
그리고 정신은 유지한 채 의사 표현을 하고 있었죠. 아마도 계속 목이
Well, they
잘린
think he
고통을
was
느끼고 있을
communicating.
겁니다.
It's hard to tell.
대체 뭐예요? 이런 일이 가능하긴 한 거예요?
모르겠습니다. 미안해요, 토미 씨. 늘 같은 대답만 하는 것 같군요.
아니에요. 엘레나 씨에게 모든 대답을 부탁하는 제가
그래도 알 수 있는 건 하나 있지.
그게
아마도 이 일이 시작이라는 것. 마음 단단히 먹어야 할 겁니다.
부디 옆에 있는 연인분을 위해서라도요.
네. 그래야죠.
There we go. 30
토미,
days.
역한 미호 아주머니한테 들었는데 벌써 열차의 30량 중 5량이 자살자들로 채워졌대.
걱정하지 마, 메어리. 아직 우리칸 사람들은 힘내서 이겨내고 있잖아.
저 엘레나와 제언님 덕분이지. 우리 칸뿐만 아니라 인접한 6칸 정도는 저분들만 믿고 버티는 것 같거든.
맞아. 의사분들이라 그런지 굉장히 침착하셔서 우리도 안심할 수 있지.
맞아요. 엘레나님과 재훈님이 아니었다면...
메어리, 괜한 말은 하지 말자.
I mean, the first person to kill himself was on the trade card with those two doctors.
여러분,
Yeah.
상황이 안 좋아지고
They didn't
있습니다.
save everyone. The situation is indeed worsening somewhat.
우리가 있는 칠량을 포함한
Yep.
5에서
Take a wild guess as to what those red strings in the background are.
15년부터는 심각합니다.
First 3 guesses don't count.
3일 전만 해도
맞아요. 19량은 벌써 죽은 자들로 가득하다고 들었어요.
무차별적으로 들이닥쳐서 사람들 몸을 파헤치며 마치 놀고 있다고 들었어요.
그렇습니다. 그들은 아무래도 이 기나긴 시간을 견뎌내기 위해 고통을 받아들이고자 하는 사람들인 것 같습니다.
정신 나간 거 아니에요? 단순히 시간을 때우자고 서로 죽고 죽이다니.
죽은 건 아니지만
메어리, 팔다리 덜렁거리면서 기어다니는 건 죽은 거나 마찬가지라고.
맞아. 우린 견뎌야 한다. 자발적으로 자신의 몸을 헤집는 것은 어쩔 수 없다 해도 다른 사람들에게 그런 고통을 강요하는 건 말도 안 되지.
엘레나님, 재헌님, 우리는 어떻게 해야 하죠? 제 동생들도 그런 놈들에게 당하면 어떡하나요?
소중한 사람과 떨어지고 싶지 않겠지? 적어도 언제 해방될지 모를 기나긴 시간 속에서 사랑하는 사람과 영원히
네, 맞아요. 그렇다면 견딜 수
I
있을
think you're making it
거예요.
worse, Doctor.
재원님, 무슨 방법이라도 있는 건가요?
Well, I know this experimental procedure.
토미도 그렇지?
당연하지.
Yeah, sure, of course I
저희를
do.
믿어주시기 바랍니다. 여러분의 동의가 필요합니다. 그리고 그들과 맞서 싸워야 합니다.
싸우다니요?
소중한 사람들과 갈라놓으려는 15량 이후의 나쁜 사람들을 말하는 겁니다.
미쳤어.
Which is just one more week.
모두 미쳤다고.
토미 씨, 아직 망설이고 계신가요?
토미, 저분들을 봐. 그렇게 나쁘지는 않아 보여. 물론 나도 충격을 안 받은 건 아니지만
So yes, something has been done to the other
토미와
passengers.
영원히 함께할 수 있다면, 그렇다면 견딜 수 있을 것 같다.
I mean, honestly, the first 30 days would be increasingly terrible, and then after that, you'd sort of get used to it.
조금만 더.
People do adapt
시간을
to
줘.
terrible situations very quickly.
Totally.
토미 씨, 이곳에 넘치는 건 시간이겠지만 우리에게 다가오는 시간은 그리 넉넉하지 않습니다.
강요는 안 해. 선택에 맡길 뿐이야.
And now they're on the train to Busan, and they need to fight their way out, I guess. 2 more weeks.
할게요.
Tommy is very slow to respond.
한다고요.
Yeah, given how reluctant he is to get involved with any of this, you have to wonder what he saw in the last 2 weeks that made him go, you know what, fuck it, fine.
Yep, that's my line.
14량 사람들이 어떤 상태인지 직접 보고 왔어. 이미 놈들한테 당해서 고통의
Well,
눈을
if you can still
까디짓고
call them
피만
people.
흘리고 있어. 메어리 널 그렇게 되도록 둘 수 없어.
토미, 나도 마찬가지야.
좋습니다. 바로 시작하도록 하겠습니다. 선생님, 준비를.
토미, 상태는 어때?
잘 모르겠어. 그래도 이제 안심이야. 네 심장 고동 소리가 생생하게 느껴지거든.
나도 그래. 우리는 떨어지지 않을 거야.
I guess the doctor went crazy too and sewed them together.
여러분들의 사랑 덕분에 심량까지는
No.
무사합니다.
선생님들이 저희에게 새로운 몸을 주신 덕분이죠.
다행이에요. 여러분의 사랑이 서로를 지킨 거죠.
선생님, 심령에서 급하게 지원 요청이 들어왔어요.
토미 씨, 메어리 씨, 심량으로 가서 그들에게 힘을 빌려주실 수 있을까요?
네? 하지만 저희는 싸움이라고는 안 해봤는데요. 힘도 그다지.
분명 서로를 위하는 마음이 새로운 몸에 힘을 줄 겁니다.
선생님들만 믿겠습니다.
Okay. Many years later.
자살자들을 우겨넣는 것 정도는 일도 아니게 되었네, 토미.
그러게 말이야.
Yep, this is 9.5 years later.
서로를 위하는 마음이 우리에게 힘을 줘.
목사발을 내도 꾸역꾸역 기어나온단 말이지.
그래도 당분간 잠잠할 거야.
마을에 잘 돌아왔습니다. 토미 씨, 메어리 씨.
토미와 메어리야말로 우리 사랑 마을의 영웅이지.
Yay, our heroes.
토미, 메어리, 멋져.
Whose mouth is that? Where do they get
Excellent
these
question.
bonus parts? They're like a flesh mech. Oh, a couple days later.
왔네, 토머리.
Tomerry.
무슨 일이에요, 엄마?
1,984 years
그동안
later.
별일 없었고?
늘 똑같아요. 피땀 녀석들을 네모로 잡을지 세모로 잡을지 고민하는 정도?
훌륭하네. 고통을 즐기는 놈들이니 당하는 입장에서도 좋아하겠지.
저기 아빠는?
잠시 앞칸에 일을 보러 갔어.
그래서 무슨 일이야, 엄마?
드디어 재밌는 물건을 받았거든. 엘린이 말한 대로라면 그들도 볼 만큼 봤다는 거겠지.
재미있는 물건?
도서관의 초대장. 전에 도시전설로 유명했던 그 도서관 몰라? 너희 좌석 뒤에 있던 해결사들이 이 초대장을 받고 호련히 사라져버렸잖아.
미안해, 엄마. 도서관이 뭐야? 전이라...
아, 그렇지. 아이고 미안해라.
아니야. 엄마가 미안해할 필요 없어. 우리가 멍청해서 미안해.
아니야. 아마 그분이라면 분명 조금 웃겨서 눈물이 나버렸을 거야.
죄송해요. 제발 벌만은 주지 마세요.
꾸짖는 게 아닌걸. 벌도 없을 거야.
So these portraits are not to scale. Tomerry is about 2 or 3 times the size of everyone else.
그것에 마을 사람들과 함께 서명하면 돼.
And they're terrified of her.
혹시
Yeah, she's the scary
그
one.
종이에 적힌 책을
Yeah.
들고 온다면 성공이야. 상을 주도록 할게.
Tomerry are acting logically,
Yeah.
given the circumstances.
Nearly 2,000 years in, and
어차피 못 돌아오겠지만 말이야.
Elena here hasn't lost her mind. Everyone else has regressed to childlike.
뭐야?
Yep.
72만 4,284일? 저기
How
괜찮아?
did Roland overhear that?
속이 안 좋아 보이는데.
Oh, don't forget when the
Oh yeah.
invitations are getting involved, they get to see everything that happens.
Right, yeah. That hasn't been relevant for a long time, but it's certainly relevant here.
Yeah,
아무래도 저런 걸
it's
보면 그렇지.
it's likely that the time skips were essentially done to keep them sane.
Yeah.
밖은 괜찮은 거야? 내 생각에는 그렇게 시간이 흐르지 않았는데. 우리도 저거 넉놓고 보다가 시간이 미친 듯이 흘러버린 거 아니야?
우리는 인과의 단편만 보았기 때문에 1시간도 안 지났어.
Yeah, there we go.
그래도 도서관 밖은?
아마 밖의 시간도 안 지났을 것 같아. 저 손님은 특별해. 반드시 책으로 볼 필요가 있겠어.
처음이야.
Hey, they made it.
벗어나서 이렇게 마을 주민들과 함께 새로운 곳에 올 수 있다니.
Oh yeah, they've brought friends with them.
환영합니다, 손님.
안녕하세요. 당신은 누구죠?
Fewer than 300, though. You'd think by this point they would have absorbed everybody on the train.
엔젤라입니다.
사람 마을의 토머리예요.
Yeah, if anyone's familiar with the Shoggoths from H.P. Lovecraft,
책이라는 걸 가져오라 했어요.
probably going to be getting some flashbacks.
저 문으로 들어가면 찾을 수 있답니다.
고마워요.
당신은 토미와 메어리를 기억하나요?
토미? 메어리? 그게 누구죠?
신경 쓰지 마세요. 부디
당신의 책을 찾으실
Angela
수 있게.
actually seems to feel pity for them.
I mean, she said she'd have puked if she weren't a robot.
Yeah.
Oh, they brought some townspeople with them. Yep, just a series of flesh clop.
Yep.
This is a 2-act somehow, so I guess Tomerry is the final part of this.
Yep. You've got a wave of Lovetown people to fight, and then you've got a few more with Tomerry to fight.
Boy.
As I said, Tomerry's basically the boss of this particular chapter. So probably best to leave them until you've gone down the other paths.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because Tomerry is really your first huge roadblock that's not an abnormality.
Yeah.
And will be so without proper preparation.
Yeah. Seems like I'm gonna have to actually use all these upgrade options I've had now.
Yeah, as I said, with the passives, what I can always do, because I've got a list of recommended ones here, I just pull that up and be like, okay, this, and this on this one.
Yeah. That'll be a lot faster than making decisions and swapping all the things around.
Oh yeah, trust me, it's the one thing that it's easy to get lost in. Picking cards, you really just go with incremental upgrades, so per deck you might swap out 2 or 3 cards with every new fight. But with passives, you're going to be swapping those around a lot. More so than with key pages.
Oh boy. Well, these are going to be some weird-looking key pages when we get them.
Unfortunately, you don't get the Lovetown people key pages. You will get a couple of pages, a couple of cards from Tomerry and I think a couple of the Lovetown's people. But no, you do not get to wear a flesh suit.
Sad. They blew it. Let's take a crack at the big boss and probably lose.
I mean, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, we'll give it one shot. See what happens. Let's watch this cutscene again, though.
Nope. Okay, so it's been fun, but I'm going to leave now.
These individual things, not that impressive.
Yep.
But they are, of course, Act 1.
Yeah. Somewhere else that I read it that yes, the song sounds incredibly twee, and then you listen to you actually pay attention to the lyrics, and you're like, oh, it's all about being in love, and then you actually understand what they're saying. You're like, oh, this is fucking horrible.
Yeah.
Additional little bits and pieces. Tomerry is the combination. It's actually a pun. The characters used in the name in Korean. To is similar to the word for vomit, and Meori means head. Literally, vomit head.
You can.
Yeah. You can find. Yeah, it's called From a Place of Love. Trying to find it wasn't on Lyric Genius. It was somewhere else that I found it. That they were discussing everything that was going on. But yeah, this song just makes me feel really sad and icky, and I don't know why.
It's a bit skin crawly, which is why I cranked it on the stream, so everyone gets to enjoy it.
Yeah, of course. Because you were determined to make me feel pain.
Yeah. I mean, you still have control over your own volume, so you can defend yourself.
Oh no. Trust me, I've got this fucking thing on mute.
Yeah, this team is dead. Roland is not going to make it much further.
Yep.
Probably not past his turn. I'd be surprised.
Essentially, your first floor should be focused towards wiping out the first team and hopefully having enough hit points.
Yeah.
to do some significant damage. At the very least, trying to take out the minions.
Yeah, I really wanted to get rid of the minions. Even that seems optimistic at this point. Okay, I think we can at least take out one minion. Weight ups are paying dividends because I'm not getting my level ups. Yeesh. Getting max damage on me. Okay, that one dead. Good. Now they return the favor. What the?
Yeah, that's the other thing as well. Tomerry doesn't like it when you hurt their friends.
Ah. Revive the dead townspeople with 50%. Interesting. Well, nothing to be done about that now. Oh, no. Okay, we survived it long enough to attack. Miraculously.
And Tomerry also changes forms.
Glorious.
Yep, that's +5 strength. That's the most we've seen in quite some time.
And an attack that does 11 to 16 damage.
Yep.
They are going to crush me into a triangle.
You have to remember in the when they received the invitation, they were saying, you know, I want to bend them into a triangle, but maybe a square would be better.
Yeah. Triangle won. Get in the fight, triangle wins.
Tomerry person.
Yep. Alright, Malkuth is obviously gonna hop in now and hopefully win. Definitely win.
Things can't get worse.
It's true.
One would hope.
At least we get all 14 members.
Yep, unfortunately they're back at square one.
Yeah. And actually Hod was my good team, so whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Fights like this, you really should think of your opening team as disposable.
Yeah, totally.
They clear the first round and open up, hopefully survive long enough to open up a path for the second team.
If I paid more attention to the passives, I would have known that the townspeople were coming back.
Yeah.
So I probably shouldn't have bothered killing them outright.
At the very least, you should be trying to, because they can. I think Tomerry can only revive one of them per turn, and even then, that's only a 50% rate. So trying to take them out, or at least weaken them, so you can take multiple of them out in one turn, not a bad idea.
I think it was winning the act that brought back all the teammates.
I don't remember exactly what it is that happens, but yeah,
because they both came back at the same time, the two that were killed.
Yeah.
Oh god. Level up on Tomerry. Just what we needed.
Yeah.
You're such a nice girl, I'm just not ready now. It's in the lyrics.
Yeah. No, it is honestly, I cannot put it into words, but something about this song just, it's uncomfortable. It hurts to listen to.
It's, yeah, very creepy.
Like, everything about this fight and the song, it feels wrong in a way I just cannot put into words. And that just makes everything that much worse. Like, this entire section was tailor-made to fascinate and repulse me at once.
True.
anyone who's watched like the last 18 episodes of this is just going to be like, oh, that's why he likes it.
Yeah. 50% at the end of each scene.
Yep. That one, again, very useful as long as you can keep winning clashes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, match light and display of affection probably... The problem is that they do not scale up quickly enough. Malchus, a good character with our later abnormality pages, but our opening ones just kind of suck.
Yep. Everyone's asleep, so that's a great sign.
Everyone's asleep, dead, or bleeding out.
Or all the above. Honestly, it's nice that the doctor and nurse aren't here, so that we don't get to become Tomerry after it kills us.
Oh, don't worry. They'll be back.
I figured. Okay, when hit, I feel like I'm going to get hit several more times.
Oh,
what have they done now?
I think they were just shifting stances.
Okay, good.
For the first half of the fight, they've only got two. They've got the passive stance, and then they've got the one where they're charging forward. Obviously, this being a boss fight, there's another form. Because of course there is.
Naturally.
Because practically fucking Bloodborne already. Except Bloodborne doesn't make me feel creepy and weird.
Which is saying something, because it's meant to, and it often does.
And this is me!
Yeah.
This makes me feel bad.
Yeah, I told Beck you got me this game because it had something that actually disturbed you. And they said, now I'm interested.
Okay, if it makes him feel fucked up.
Yeah.
This has got to be some nightmare mind-rending bullshit. I said, the entire time before we got to this, I was like, I really hope I'm not overselling this. Because fundamentally, like, I fully understand that this is a very me kind of thing. Like, yeah, at the end of the day, this creeps me out on a very visceral, personal level, and even I'm not quite sure why.
Totally, yeah.
But, you know, considering how many other people were just completely... you know, their minds got shredded by Love Town as a general concept. Yeah, it's maybe not the same reasons, but I'm far from alone in thinking that this is one of the weirdest, most horrible things ever seen in a video game.
It is up there. And yeah, Tomerry party wiped me in one turn.
Yep.
Had like 8 attacks. I was bananas.
Nope.
But their origin story, actually, like most of the chat, happened to tune in for that episode where we watched that cutscene, so. Lucky us.
When everyone was stuck on a train for 2,000 years.
Yep.
And beaten and tortured and fused until they are literal children now.
What a way to go. So you want to...
sequence was fucked. Yeah, that's an understatement.
Indeed.
One of the most fucked up things I'd seen at that point since Society.
Similar in a lot of ways.
If you haven't seen Society, go watch it. Do not read anything about it. Just go in completely blank.
True.
That's what Feenley did after I made the suggestion.
Yep.
And you regretted it.
I mean, the last half hour is a unique experience that must be had by all.
Yeah, I got it for my girlfriend for Christmas, and we wound up watching it, and I wished I'd taken pictures of her face just that last half hour. She did not know where to look, what was happening.
I value memorable things, and that's one of them.
Yep. I was actually talking about it the other day, that I like films that show me something I've never seen before. Like, it doesn't matter whether they're good or bad, as long as it's something new. I'm like, okay, you know, I will think about you again. And yeah, I think I first saw Society when I want to say I was about 12 or 13. It was completely the wrong time to watch it, but
utterly.
Also, you know, the right time, since it kicked off a lifelong love of body horror.
True.
I think it was also the first time I started paying attention to the names behind movies, like Stuart Gordon or Screaming Mad George.
Yeah. I hate having to spread out my attacks, but if I leave any of theirs uncontested, they go like 10 times as powerful.
Oof.
Yeah. Even still, it didn't do much damage. I'm working around their bullshit.
Yeah.
Look of the day, of course.
Yeah, the biggest issue with the Love 10 people is that they basically just exist to wear you down.
Yeah. Yeah, they sure do. They're pretty good at it.
They're not difficult, they're just tanky. And because of that, they get lots of attacks and slowly grind you down. So by the time you bring in the second team, you're already at a disadvantage because they're starting off fresh.
Yep.
They've got all the hit points, but they also don't have any of the emotion levels.
And then when they take out one of your teams and you have to start from scratch, they bring back all their teammates.
Yep.
Yeah, that one doesn't demand to be contested.
No.
Only if it loses a clash.
Yeah, that one, ironically, you're better off leaving alone.
Pretty much. Damn. Can't do anything further. Unless I kill it. 27 is ambitious to do in one turn.
Yeah. Especially since it takes reduced pierce damage.
Yeah. I tried to see if I'd be able to like manipulate weaknesses, but they all have different resistances.
Yeah.
Each different shape of monstrosity is resistant to a different thing.
Yeah. There's another boss later on that's kind of like... remind me, did you get particularly far in Darkest Dungeon?
I didn't beat it. I didn't get to the Darkest Dungeon itself.
Okay.
I got pretty far.
Did you fight the... I can never remember how it's pronounced. The in-coat flesh?
Probably. I think I fought every boss on the first trip around.
The sort of shape-shifting pig demon with 4 parts.
That sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. There's one which is like that, where every couple of turns it will completely change form. And its weaknesses and resistances will change as well. I've always said incohate. See, I've heard it pronounced as incoat, inchoked, incoit. So it's one of those ones I've never known how to pronounce it, because everyone has like 5 different pronunciations.
Yep. It's fantasy terminology.
Yeah. I think it is an actual word.
Probably.
Or at least, you know, it's become a word since Lovecraft used it or whatever. Google says inchoate. Oh, fair enough. I'll still probably say inchoate.
Alright, this should be a blowout. Yeah, even their max damage is kind of unimpressive.
Yeah. Plus the fact you did 20 damage to it right there and then.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Finish
that
him.
one's dead.
Yeah. 14 fire on it. And that did the job.
Yep.
Burn to the ground.
Flame Hyenard?
Well, 300 HP to work with now. And nothing I can do to change anything. So, whatever. Yay. Music time.
And the stream goes back on mute for me.
Oh, look at the other Lovetown citizens. The background here. Oh, god damn it. I had to do that the first turn. Off to a great start.
I will say that could have gone a lot worse.
That's for damn sure.
1,000 bits if you first try Tomerry. Yeah, that's not happening.
Plus, they've killed me before, so.
Yeah. Granted, that was just going in without much in the way of preparation, and you have reorganized your decks. You've gotten some good new cards.
Yeah. Plus, I picked the worst possible teams.
Yeah.
When I did that.
The thing about this game is your first fight, for the first time you try any of these fights, you essentially are going in going like, right, what do I need to learn?
God.
Like,
if HP goes down to 50% or lower, ...
Yeah. I'm hoping we at least get to that, because something really funny happens.
Glorious.
For a very, very, very given value of funny.
I think I can make that happen.
Reminds me of I just always think of a line from, I think it was Animaniacs. Okay, so do you mean funny haha or funny uh-oh? Funny uh-oh. Make sure that none of them are doing that unopposed attack.
Yeah, which 1, 2, 3 more.
All of them.
Yep. I will counter 1 attack for each of them.
Yeah, this is one that definitely punishes you if you stick to your dog pile.
Yeah.
Tactic.
Wait. Yeah, you're blocking that. Feather Shield is the perfect counter. These two are trading, these two are trading, and these two are trading. So, yeah, we're pretty much set. Although, what is this? Oh, that's this going over there.
Yeah.
We're good. Never better.
What I will say is this is going to be kind of like the Fairy Forest fight, where you want to get it as close to 50% as possible, and then dogpile on it, because what happens after is not going to be fun.
The big punches. And there are a lot of them. Ineffective, love to see it.
Yep. This is also kind of a weird fight in that you're probably going to take out most of the health bar before you get the stun bar gone.
Nice. Yeah, we're stacking lots of paralyze and bleed and stuff.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be our main damage source. Staggered enemies. Haven't had any of those in a while.
Yeah. Staggered enemies, you might be able to stagger the Lovetown inhabitants, but not Tomerry. Like, it's certainly possible, it's just very, very difficult.
It was actually quite good. 3 attacks, beautiful.
Yeah. I want to say, who's got the most health, put it on them.
Yeah. Everyone's got some meat on their bones. Neville's probably going to be the first down, but we expected that. Yep, that one needs to be contested. As usual, they all need to be contested, but one person seems to be able to do it, pretty much.
Mm.
I don't have any blocks here, so that's not great. That's perfect, though. Block that. And the rest can go to the big guy. Slash gal slash 10 strangers sewn together in a big glop.
The Ed Gein special.
Yeah. I was not angry enough.
Yeah.
Fortunately. Impatience.
Not a virtue.
Hey. Mary's approaching half health. We should land like exactly half health right around here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And they changed forms. Saw that last time we attempted this. The whole crew is staggered.
Yep. So, what you might want to do is just hit Tomerry with everything you've got.
Mm-hmm. Probably the best way to do things. This team is a sacrifice. The next team we're hoping will bring it home.
Yeah. Next team is going to have to, because, as I said, this is, like, it goes without saying, form change is coming up, and it's going to be brutal.
Then we'll try to distract as many attacks away from our Death's Door individuals.
Yep.
Let's send them in first. But I
So
don't
what
have one
attack
more
is it
motion.
that Tomerry's using? 5 strength next scene.
Yeah.
Or is that first strong attack? Yeah, you're definitely going to want to drop them to below 50 just to take that off the table. Because I believe whenever any foe does a form change, whatever attacks they were going to do are nullified.
That could be strategically sound.
I will say in advance, though, I may be completely wrong, and it's just the way things lined up for me.
Entirely possible. Be prepared for that sort of thing. There, you take the one attack there, guts coming our way. And we just wait for anger. Bot's charging up. Getting angry, or happy. Occasionally happy. There we go. Sick block. We're doing brutal damage.
Yeah, you were doing way better than I ever did. I'll pay that much for free.
My setup was pretty absurd. Hey!
Holy shit!
No transformation.
God
Complete on
damn.
the train.
Yeah, what's supposed to happen is when Tomerry hits under 50% health, you kill off Tommy, and Mary just goes apeshit.
That sounds pretty fucked up.
Yeah, it's there's some special dialogue, and yeah, every time Tomerry attacks, or Mary at that point,
Yeah.
it's just incoherent babbling of why did you kill him? I loved him. It's like, oh, this just makes me feel even worse. And that's a blast down with that promised 1,000 bits. Hard fucking earned.
Yep.
Oh yeah, go watch once we're done with this, go watch the boss fight on YouTube for someone who does it properly. Again, it's just that extra little bit of you thought, you know this is fucked up. We're just gonna twist the knife out a little bit extra.
I could go back in and intentionally play the boss fight poorly.
No.
So as to allow it to transform.
Yeah, you should be able to just finish them off with Odd. Well done, because this took me like 5 or 6 attempts. And then the first time I got Tomerry below 50%, I was like, and we're back to having a bad time. I
seriously did over an hour of prep, setting up everyone's key pages perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's essentially that's what I did, but it was just constant tweaking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, well, what if I use this skill with these cards, and so on, just until I managed to luck out and get the right combination, or the dice just decided to fall my way.
Yeah, I built everybody for burst damage as well, and drew all the right cards for perfect burst. I don't think I even paid attention to make Hot angry there.
Not that it mattered.
And it really doesn't at this point. These enemies do not deal very much damage, so...
Yeah. Yeah, at this point, they are just chaff.
Yep. It would be devastating to beat the boss and then get party wiped by these things, but... we still have a backup party.
I didn't get party wiped, but I did wind up losing my sole remaining character the first time I beat this.
Yeesh.
Because at the time, this was the last part. Like, this was the end of one particular update.
Mm-hmm.
So... Copiousness of time. Well, you know, shit happens, I guess.
Literally anything can happen. They might have got it the worst, but...
난 두 번 다시 똑같은 일을 당하지 않을 거야. 난 저 사람들과 달리 나를 지켜냈어. 난 시간에 잡아먹히지 않고 버텨냈어. 난 무너지지 않았어.
You kinda lost your sanity over the million or so years that you were in temporal time loop stasis thing, though.
Yeah, Angela's not exactly the picture of mental health.
Yeah,
she thinks she is.
She's saying, yeah, I got out of it okay. Girl, you were broken to begin with.
Yep.
You're not okay.
We got books there. There they are.
Yep.
I thought they were just
kind of
generic
similar to Philip in that you get some extra attacks.
Yeah, they do not drop a key page, which is a crime.
Just lumbering in like, hey, you guys.
We should be able to sew extra heads onto all of our characters. That's all I'm saying.
She looks exactly like that one girl from Evangelion. Rei Ayanami, yeah. She's kind of an archetype at this point. Oh yeah, those cards are really, really pleasant to look at, aren't they?
They sure are.